Hello, thanks for stopping by stampstodiefor.com. My name is Patsy Waggoner and I'm excited to share with you today another technique how-to. Hope you enjoy it. Okay, let's get started with today's whitewash watercolor. This is one of those techniques that I think I could really get addicted to and kind of like the fun working with it. I do love to watercolor. Embossing has not always been my favorite, and we do need to start out with an embossed image. So sometimes when I see embossing, it's like, okay, I don't want to go there. And the main reason is because it makes a mess, and I've already goofed. I need to apply, this is an embossing buddy, and it's a little bit of powder. You'll be able to see it on the black. That keeps our embossing ink from not sticking where we want it, because sometimes the ink will end up sticking places we don't really want. And now we're going to put the ink on here. I'm using a craft ink. You need an ink that's going to take a little bit longer to dry so that you can apply your powder to it. Classic inks don't work for this real well. A Versamark pad would, or your craft ink pad. If you did it with a classic ink pad, you'd have to be really, really fast. So now I just swish that powder around a little bit, tap it off, and you can see the flowers are there. And to get this back into my container, I just do it on a little piece of copy paper out of my printer and tap, tap, tap it back in. And we can discard that. And you can see you get a little powder everywhere. And so now we're going to go in, and I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but you need a heat tool. And no, a hair dryer won't work because it'll blow your powder all off your image. But if you start to see, you can watch, the image will start to get glassy, and you want to kind of keep heating your moving your heat tool around so you don't scorch your paper. And I'm not sure how well this will show up, but you can see that it's starting to turn a little glossier and a little more white. And it's like magic. Most people love to emboss, and it was probably one of the big things that got a lot of people hooked on stamping, 20 years ago, was heat embossing, and we didn't have these fancy tools back then. So you're going to have heated that up and embossed your image. You can see that the heat tool will make your paper a little curly. Now I've taken a couple of drops of our re-inker, Whisper White re-inker, and I placed it in here. And then I took my aqua painter and just dropped a couple of little drops of water in there. But I chose to work with a dry aqua painter. I just felt putting a little water with it in the tray gave me a little more flexibility. When I tried to do it with the aqua painter with water, and I got too much water in my flower and I got a little frustrated. So I found this to work the best for me. You might find it works great with your aqua painter. Every aqua painter is different. I have several of them, but I found this to be best. So you're going to color in your flower with this white craft ink. And if it gets a little dry, then I just took my aqua painter with a little bit of water and put a little bit of water on it. But you can play with it and see what works best for you. And so we're going to keep just going through those petals. And of course, the magic of television. I have one all done here and dry, ready to go. So this is how it looks. It'll dry out a little bit, so when you're doing it, you might notice that the flowers look way too white, but they will dry out and be just about right in the end. So now I am taking my little lid from my embellishments. And I'm taking my aqua painter that does have water in this time, and I'm just going to watercolor these colors on here like this. If it gets a little too wet, I just dab it on a little Kleenex, and then I just kind of took this in. You can kind of see how it'll bleed in a little bit. That kind of gives it a cool petal look. You're just going to go around and you're going to, you know, paint each petal again. And then to do the shading, I just go pick up a little bit darker and shade it where you want it a little darker. And then just blend it. And it'll kind of work its way out, or dry its way out, I should say. So you're going to do that with as many flowers as you need for your project. You can even do it as, you know, part of your project, but I chose to do it with our project. And then I am going to punch these out. This is the Flower Shop stamp set, and this is the Pansy punch, and you can buy these in a bundle, which is really cool, so you get them together. The Flower Shop stamp set has 6 really fun pansies. Well, it's called a pansy punch, but there's a variety of flowers in here to make it fun. So here's the finished project. I put 3 of the flowers on here and embellished them with a little rhinestone that I'd colored with a Sharpie marker to get a little bit of a yellow hue to them to match our background paper. This is Gingham Garden, and I added a little washi tape to it. The washi tape is really fun just to throw some color and splash in there. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's project. Again, be sure to stop over at my blog to print out the Whitewashed Watercolor tutorial page. Stamp a little sample, place it there, and you'll have a reference for upcoming projects. It's fun to pull this out and think, oh, what should I do today? And flip through it and go, oh, I think I'll do that. So, hope you enjoyed it. Happy stamping!